Hey, how are you? My name is Diego Rodriguez. I'm an immigration attorney here with Justinian Associates.
Hi there, I'm Dustin Fox. I'm also with Justinian and Associates.
So we're making this video today to kind of just talk about what's going on. You know, the election just happened. We got our president-elect Donald Trump in. This video is not intended to kind of be a scare tactic or do any of that. It's really to start clarifying and informing people about what the information is out there.
Sure.
Some is wrong, some is right. You know, a lot of people will read something on the internet and think it's true.
Yeah, Facebook's notorious for that.
Yeah, I don't think the Loch Ness Monster or any of that Bigfoot has been found.
No.
So with this, we'd like to bring a little bit of clarity of what's going on. You guys are in Houston. I was born in Houston, right by Hobby Airport. I went to high school there. I went to Mount Carmel High School. A lot of people there, a lot of friends and family are having questions
Sure.
about this on both sides. You know, it's there's nothing wrong with the with who you supported for presidency. That is something to be really admired. You voted, and that vote brought your candidate into office. It's a beautiful thing, our electoral process.
Sure.
You know, democracy, to being able to have that peaceful transition. But right now we're in a little bit of an interim, and people don't know what's going to happen.
Sure. I mean, that's what makes America so great.
Correct.
But yeah, like you said, I mean, people are confused. People are scared. I'm a board member in one of the Pflugerville educational foundations here, and people express their concerns that children don't understand what's happening. Children ask their teachers, hey, am I going to get deported now that Trump is president? That's a real scary thing.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of tone to attack, because one of the things is, if you're not in this country legally, you are actually considered deportable.
Sure.
You may have an option that would make you undeportable. There are ways that you can get legal status. There are other ways that other options and remedies that may be available to you. But just to say that kind of blanket statement that I've been hearing a lot, I've been seeing it a lot on Facebook, social media, on the news. The process isn't that easy. It's not necessarily, hey, you so-and-so, please get out of my country, go ahead and
Sure.
leave. I mean, we know that's not the case. There's still due process and things like that. But you have to first determine whether or not you have options. And that's what we're trying to offer here. We're waiving all of our consultation fees. They're completely free.
Which is different than most immigration attorneys, right?
Correct. Most people charging anywhere from $50 to $150 to even sometimes $250. We're trying to help the community. I'm from Houston, like I said. We want to inform people on both sides. If they're like, how does this affect me, or how will this affect my city later
Friends
on?
or family.
Correct.
And
Colleagues.
like he said, he's from Houston, and what folks may not understand is that we're located in Texas, but this is federal law. We can help everyone across the nation. And I'm from California. I have friends in Porterville, Strathmore, Central Valley, all the way from Fresno and Sacramento to Bakersfield. And we went to school in San Diego. And so we can help folks all across the nation. In fact, we have a client in San Diego.
Correct. Yeah, we've client San Diego. We've about 17 to 19 states across the country. I don't know, over 15 countries internationally.
Okay. And you do that just by phone consults, or
phone, Skype, FaceTime? Technology has really bridged that gap and allowed us to communicate in ways that we previously weren't able to. It's an important thing to have that face-to-face contact. When you come and talk to us, we set an appointment. If you want to do it in person, we will speak to you. It's not going to be a paralegal. It's going to be me talking to you about any options you may have, the advantages and disadvantages of each. And if you don't have an option available or any remedy, I'll inform you why. And I'm not going to charge you anything for this information. We just kind of want to educate, kind of clear up that kind of those terms or what's being said out there.
You're just clearing up everything that people may be reading on the internet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It's just kind of, there's a lot of misinformation can make things a little very more complicated. And right now, the way everything is, I hate to go to that tone, but it's a reality that Donald Trump is going to remove President Obama's executive order of DACA. He's already stated it. What DACA is, deferred action to childhood arrivals. What that means is, if you maybe some of these people that are doing it, maybe you work with some of them, maybe you have family members that have that. Right now, it's still in effect. You can apply for it. You can get renewals on it. It's essentially, you're a minor that came into the country during a certain amount of time. You've studied, went to high school, or graduated high school, or starting high school. Right now, we're in the process of doing that. Also, GED programs. It's not giving you residency. It's not giving you citizenship. What it's doing is just allowing you to go to school. It's giving you a work authorization to be able to get an ID. It's to be able to contribute. It's going to be able to do that, and about 5 million people are going to be affected by it.
And this is still in place until, what, January 20th, correct?
Yes,
when
correct.
President Trump is actually officially inaugurated.
Yeah, he's made it very clear that his 100-day plan, he is going to repeal it. Well, it's January 20th or it's 100 days from there. Nobody can tell, but it's more of a, we gotta be proactive. It's a reality. It's not rumors. It's not speculation. I mean, he stated it.
Sure. And has he stated exactly what his plan is at this moment?
No, and that's what brings uncertainty. We don't know where he's going to go with it. To pass immigration law and to change and make large reform, you really need to work also with Congress and the legislature. The legislature is the one that makes the laws. Our system is set up in a way of checks and balances to be able to do that. He does have the ability, just like Obama did, to do some type of acts, like
another executive order.
Yeah. So it has to be within his constraints. It has to be within his powers as the president to be able to do that. Otherwise, it would be deemed unconstitutional, kind of like the DAPA, the one that was going to be affecting parents that was recently not approved by the Supreme Court. Excuse me, not approved. It was deadlocked. I believe there was a standstill, and it was returned down to the.
It was remanded, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, what we'd like to do is basically just inform you guys that we're here to help. I'm from Houston. I love the community. We're a melting pot of individuals. I mean, all across the city, you can find people from all over the world, and you can tell through the food. I mean, the food is amazing there. We have great Indian food, great Mexican food. I mean, great Chinese food, Vietnamese food. There's a huge immigration community there. There's a huge migrant. There's a lot of legal people there too that are studying. U of H is a great school. Right now our football team is doing wonderful. But they could be here on a student visa. They could contribute in different ways. They could be great engineers, could be great chefs, could be all sorts of things that happen. They're doctors, lawyers, people that actively participate in the society. But there's also people outside of the states that are trying to come in or are in the process right now. And if you have questions or concerns, if you're doing it legally the right way, which Trump has said, hey, if you're going to come in here and you're going to do it legally, we're on board with it. I don't know what it's going to impact, but let's say today there's not been a change, and we're able to continue to work and continue on with the policies.
After Trump is officially inaugurated, I mean, do the fees change at all with immigration? So
it's actually before. It's been about 6 years. USCIS hasn't really done any major changes. There is going to be changes going into effect December 26th. I want to just clarify that was not a Trump or new president system. That was just had already been discussed. It was already been in the works. So another case, if you're, say, a resident and you want to become a citizen, and you were thinking, you know what, maybe I can save some money right now, it is going to get more expensive. Pretty much, not all fees, but a good majority of immigration fees are going to be going up in December. So maybe you're, have a U visa or a right now you have whatever type of program that you are currently here for. You may be impacted by the fee increase. So give us a call. We can explain that to you too. We're here to help. We're here to inform. We're here to, I'm an attorney. I have an obligation to, inform the community when there's, especially this type of really just a massive, I guess, misinformation that's out there. People are thinking that maybe it's one thing or another. I'd love to sit down and chat and talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, this specifically hits home for you, right? Because you're a first generation, and your parents went through the whole process.
Yes, they did. I'm a first generation American. I have Mexican descent. I was born in Houston, Texas, at the Heights Hospital. My family is from Mexico. They came to this country. They became citizens. They worked hard. They're business owners. I have a great respect for that. Because of that, I could have been more than 300 miles in a different direction and been, Mexican, But I wasn't. I was fortunate to be born in the greatest country in the world.
Sure.
My parents worked hard to give me an opportunity to go to school. I'm forever in their debt for, believing in me and supporting me. But they also instilled a big obligation that, you're American and you're Mexican. But it was always that we're here. This is your country. This is where you're from, and they're happy to say it too. Because they became citizens. I was raised. I went to St. Christopher's Elementary and Junior High, and I went to Mount Carmel High School. So I have a very big religious background, and we miss a lot of stuff when it's dealing with politics or it's dealing with race or all sorts of things. Let's get back to where it was maybe a couple of weeks ago. These people are still your friends. These people are still your colleagues. These people are still, maybe
Just trying to make a living.
Yeah, your attorneys. They could be your wife, your brother-in-law, whatever it may be. They could be your neighbor. If you thought they were good people then, please continue to think they were good people now, because I know they didn't change their opinions of you.
This also hits home for me quite a bit. Growing up in the Central Valley of California, I believe my high school was about 90% Hispanic, and so this really does affect a lot of my friends back home in the Central Valley, all the way from Fresno to Bakersfield, Porterville, Strathmore, and to see the kind of questions that I get text daily, and I have to reach out to you for this information. It's really scary, and it affects me, and it affects my friends and colleagues.
Yeah. It's a very challenging time, but we also have to understand that this time may not be scary for you, maybe for a lot of other people, and you may actually have a lot of solutions in place. It's the information that's out there. We're trying to give clarity to that. We're trying to sit down with people on a case-by-case basis, because I can't blanket and give that type of information because I don't know. Everyone's different. But I'm happy to take the time. We're not going to charge. He grew up in California. It's a little bit more of a liberal state, but we help people over there.
We help everyone across the nation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We're blessed to have the opportunity to kind of make an impact across the United States. So if it's here, if it's somewhere else, if it's internationally, we can handle all those things. Give us a call at 512-580-5000.